Well, welcome again to Chef Elliot's Kitchen. And we're ready to cook up another healthy dish for all of us that are out there trying to stay fit, stay healthy, and live a long, happy life. We're going to today cook some Mediterranean salmon. Now, if you saw our previous taping, you noticed that we did a recipe from our local grocery store, Kroger. We're going to do that again today. Again, these can come in your mail if you're one of Kroger's regular shoppers and you have your little Kroger Plus card. You can automatically be signed up to receive these in the mail. And so we're going to do this recipe out of their mail-in recipe book that they send. Again, the Mediterranean salmon. It's a healthy dish, a good dish for all of you seafood lovers out there. And what we're going to do right now is just get started. Let's start by making sure our grill is on, and we want to have that on about 375. If you don't have a grill, you can use a regular saucepan and just use it on top of your stove. This is some olive oil, and what we're going to do is just add that. Notice I said olive oil. I did not say vegetable oil. I did not say grease. I did not say canola, but we're going to use olive oil. And actually, the recipe calls for that. Remember, we're staying healthy. And we're just going to smear that all over, coating that grill, because we don't want the grill to burn up. So we want to coat that real good. And so while that's getting hot, let's come over here and I'm going to tell you what I did to make our Mediterranean sauce. I kind of pre-made it for you. And all this is, guess what we have? We're going to use about 2 ripe plum tomatoes, and we're going to just dice those up real fine. The recipe also says use about 1/2 cup of red bell pepper, and we just dice those up real good. We're going to use 2 garlic cloves minced. You can get the garlic cloves already minced in your grocery store, or you can take and you can mince it yourself. And I just minced mine myself. Real simple to do. You're just going to peel the garlic and you just want to chop it up real fine. That's all mincing is. That's all it is. Don't let that word fool you. Don't let it make you nervous and not want to make the dish. It's real simple, easy to make. We're going to do also about 2 tablespoons of fresh parsley. We have some parsley here, and all you're going to do is just chop it up real fine. That's all I did. I already added that in here for you. We're going to use about 2 tablespoons of fresh thyme. All we did was just rinse the thyme off, chop it up real good, just like we did the parsley here. Mix that all up in this. We're still making that Mediterranean sauce now. We haven't moved from that, but all of these ingredients are going to go into this sauce. We use 2 tablespoons of fresh lemon juice. And what you want to do with the lemon juice, you want to just take your lemon, rinse it off, just kind of roll it out, get those juices flowing, let the lemon kind of be a little soft, and you can feel it getting soft because lemons are pretty firm. But when you're able to do this to your lemon, squeeze it, it's ready. Then we're just going to slice it in the middle. Now you can take a strainer or you can just take your hand. If you take, because what you want to prevent is the seeds going in. So we're going to take our hand and we're just going to squeeze that. And you see that lemon juice coming down between my fingers? And that's what you want to do. And about 2 lemons, just like that, will give you about 2 tablespoons of that fresh lemon juice. So any other recipes that you come across and you need fresh lemon juice, now you know how to do it. All right. And there we have the lemon seeds in our hand, right? All right, so let's discard that. Kind of rinse my hand a little bit. And let's continue. Okay, so now we have a little sugar. We add about 1 tablespoon of sugar. So a little pinch of sugar. Tablespoon. You can use your measuring utensil, or if you're real good, 3 pinches. Give it a little sweetness to go with that tart from that lemon. A little salt, a little pepper, and guess what? And I already added that salt and pepper, and we're just going to mix that up. I smell my grill over here, so I believe it's ready for our salmon. And you can get your salmon from the local grocery store. Most grocery stores have a seafood department, and since I got the recipe from Kroger, I got the salmon from Kroger. And you can already have it filleted for you, or you can buy it long piece and slice it and fillet it yourself. I already bought mine filleted. I took the skin off, and all we're gonna do is season this with, let me wash my hands. You wanna always wash your hands when you're touching raw meat, because you don't want to cause cross-contamination with anything. And I wanted to wash my hands because what we're gonna do now is we're gonna season this salmon with some salt. I like kosher salt and some fresh ground black pepper. And that's it. And just kind of season all sides of that, mix that up real good. I have a few more pieces of salmon than the recipe calls for, so I'm just gonna add one more pinch of salt. And notice I used my left hand. I hadn't touched that with the meat. So I was able to stick it in the salt with no problem. All right. Now we're gonna come over here. We're gonna put our salmon face down. If you wanna keep your skin on your salmon, it's perfectly okay, but you want to put the skin face up, because when we turn the salmon, it'll be right side up, so it'll be easier to plate. The less you focus on the meat, the less likely it's going to tear up. And you want to be able to have a nice presentation at the end of the meal. So we're going to put that down. This would have been the skin side. So it's going to be facing up, facing you. I'm just going to put that on. These are nice small pieces. And you can get bigger pieces. You can get smaller pieces. There's no right or wrong. It's just whatever you prefer. Let's put this over here and let's go on and wash our hands one more time. And when you're cooking, you're going to wash your hands several times. And that's okay. That's what you want to do. Because again, you don't want to do any cross-contamination with your foods. From raw meats to fresh vegetables. You don't want anybody to get sick. The food can look wonderful. It can taste even better. But if someone gets sick from it just because you didn't do hand washing, that could mess the whole dish up. So we don't want to do that. All right, so we got this searing. You hear that? Oh my goodness. And again, we have it on about 375. We want to put the oil down, make sure that griddle is nice and hot before we put our salmon on there. So it's going to get nice and crisp on that side. About 2 to 3 minutes, depending on the thickness of it. Now, if you have thicker salmon fillets, you want to do maybe 5 to 7 minutes. But you want to make sure it's done on that side before you turn it, okay? So now, let's move this out of the way. We're going to have a nice spinach, arugula salad. So what we're going to do, because we're still staying healthy, still using this Kroger recipe book, we're going to make Kroger's lemon vinaigrette dressing. All right? And so what we have here, it calls for a 1/3 cup of olive oil, a juice from a lemon, 1 tablespoon of minced shallot. And a shallot is kind of like an onion. It's kind of like a purple onion. And you can find that in your regular grocery store as well, over in the produce section. Then you're going to have a 1/2 teaspoon of grated lemon peel, a 1/2 teaspoon of sugar, and salt and pepper to taste. All right, so we're going to mix all of that up. And it's real simple to make it. And vinaigrette dressings are the healthier dressings. When you get into the creamy dressings, that's when you get into all of that fat. And we're not trying to do that for you today. We're going to keep you healthy. Okay, so I'm going to add a little bit of juice from a lemon. And you remember how we did that juice? This is our other half of the lemon from when I showed you earlier how to do that. So we're just going to add that. And that real lemon is going to give it that lemon flavor that you want. You don't want to have a dish called lemon vinaigrette and it not taste like lemon. So of course we're going to have that real lemon. I guess we had all of the seeds in the first half. Okay, so we have that. And I'm just gonna put that little meat in there. Go on and toss that. Not quite ready to turn, so let's keep moving with the lemon vinaigrette. About a tablespoon of minced shallot. And I already took the liberty to mince it up for you. So we're gonna add that in there. 1.5 teaspoons of Dijon mustard. So let's do that. That's about 1.5, just a little extra. About a 1/2 teaspoon of grated lemon peel. And you can use your grater that you probably grate your cheese with. There's 4 sides, and on one of those sides, it's a small enough piece that you can grate your lemons and get the zest that you need. And I like to add a little extra because I love lemon. So let's just add all of it. So we probably have about 2 teaspoons in there. All right, a 1/2 teaspoon of sugar. Bam, there it is. And you want to add some salt and pepper to taste. This is freshly ground black pepper. And a little kosher salt. Again, I like kosher salt. It just brings out the flavor in food a lot better than just regular table salt. And guess what? Mix that up with our wire whisk. And we have our lemon vinaigrette dressing. That's all it is. You don't have to go and get one from the regular grocery store. We did this and probably with some ingredients that you already have in your kitchen. And we've made our own healthy lemon vinaigrette dressing for our salad. All right, let's go on and turn this. Look at that. And if you like it to have a little more color, you can add a little paprika, but it has a nice color to it now already. You don't want to undercook your salmon and you don't want to overcook it. So it's very important to keep a nice close eye on your salmon. So about another 2 minutes on that side and it's ready to go. All right, so we can put this to the side because we're finished with that lemon vinaigrette. Let's go back to our page. All right, now, what we need to do is we got to heat. We're going to saute our Mediterranean sauce. So we're going to use the same grill that we're doing our salmon because I want that salmon flavor to be in our Mediterranean sauce. So I'm just going to move the salmon down to one end. And again, if you don't have a grill, an electric grill or a non-electric grill, you can use another saucepan. It's okay. And it's okay to deviate from a recipe to make it your own. And so what we're going to do, all of those fresh vegetables and herbs that we used at the beginning, we're going to now saute them. So let's add a little bit more olive oil to our grill here. Just kind of coat that in. And let's add some of this. Bell peppers, tomatoes, garlic, thyme, parsley, sugar, salt and pepper, fresh lemon juice. Ooh, this is gonna be good right here. I wish you could smell the aroma out there in TV land, but listen, I'm sure you're doing this recipe right along with me, right? Very simple, very inexpensive. The whole meal costs around $12. That's including the salmon. So we're just gonna saute that. And all we're doing when we're sauteing is just getting the vegetables a little tender. That's all we're doing. So while they're sauteing, we're going to take our salmon off because it is ready. So we're going to take our plate here. Let's use a smaller plate. Actually, let's just put it on our cutting board. And notice I'm using 2 spatulas. You don't want to stick or probe your meat because when you do that, it causes it to dry out. You don't want the juices to run out and then you have dry salmon. And you probably have experienced some salmon that just wasn't flavorful, and that's probably one of the reasons. They stuck a probe in it instead of using some tongs or using a spatula and lifting it out of the skillet. And that's going to prevent that for you. So let's just toss this just a little bit more here. And if you look at this, what we have left in our bowl here, and look at what we have on the grill, you can see it kind of breaking down from being sauteed. You see the difference there? Guess what? It's finished. That's it. Just want it enough to get the vegetables nice and tender. So let's turn this down. We'll turn it off, actually. And we're ready to plate our dinner. Get one of these here. Now, toss that right there. Again, I like spinach. Most of you out there know that. So I like a little fresh spinach. But this time I added a little arugula to it. So we're going to just put that on our plate there. Let's just add a little extra. We've been good today. We've been working all day. So we deserve a little bit extra. And guess what? It's a free food. You're not going to get that. So put that on there. Nice and pretty. Let's take a salmon. Put that there. Listen, take some of that lemon vinaigrette dressing. Let me get a spoon because I want it to drizzle over that. All right, and just let it drizzle. And remember I said the creamy dressings are the fattening dressings, but when you have vinaigrettes, they're not as fattening. So it's okay. Usually you're only supposed to use about 2 tablespoons of salad dressing, but since this is a homemade vinaigrette, we can go up to 3 tablespoons. And we're gonna take, let me get one more spoon here. And we're gonna take some of our Mediterranean sauce that we made and just top it over our salmon here. Oh, isn't that a nice colorful plate? It smells wonderful. And just to give it a little bit more color, let's just toss a little bit around the plate. And there it is. That's the dish. And we have made a Mediterranean salmon with our homemade lemon vinaigrette dressing over a bed of spinach, fresh spinach, and arugula. And there's your dish. And you know what? I think I'm going to take a bite. Here's a fork here. So let's take a bite out of this. I love salmon. Get a little bit of that spinach there with some of that lemon vinaigrette dressing. Oh my God. That is good. Listen out there, if you want to sample this, get your recipe from our local Kroger grocery store. Make it for your family tonight. Very simple, real inexpensive, and heavenly. Till next time, bye-bye now.